friends, happy Wednesday. Here's another activity that I want you guys to complete today while I'm in my meetings, while you guys are doing your asynchronous learning time. It is finally time to do something in your work today that Pete the cat did in our book yesterday at school, and that was, it is time to paint. And so today I'm going to let you guys paint and also create the character Pete the cat with some supplies that you will find in your kindergarten kit. So first things first, I want you to get into your kindergarten kit, and in the very, very back where you found your Pete the cat book is an envelope. And inside here, I want you to pull out this white sheet right here. And on this sheet you will see Pete the cat's shoes, and these are Pete the cat's eyes, and then this triangle up here in this corner is Pete the cat's nose. So for your painting today, you're going to need your paint set that I sent for you, and you can just take this part and throw that one away. You don't need that. You'll need your brush, which is inside the paints, and these are watercolors. So if I just put my brush on there and put it on my paper, nothing happens. So to activate and make the paint work, you're going to need a little tiny little cup of water. Okay? So the first thing I want you to paint is I want you to look at the cover of the book and see what color Pete the cat's eyes are. Do you see that? So his eyes are yellow and his nose is white. So we are going to keep this triangle nose white, but the eyes we're going to paint yellow. So you're going to dip your paintbrush into the paints and then rub it in the yellow, and you're going to have to rub it quite a bit to get that yellow paint to liquefy or to get soft and wet, okay? And then once you've got it nice and wet, then you're going to just paint right on top of his eyes and paint it yellow. Okay, see that? So there's his first eye. Now let me get his second eye. So if you find that you need a little bit more water to get more paint, you can just go ahead and redip. It just takes a tiny bit of water. The less water, the better, because it will dry much faster. And if you want to paint outside the lines, you can do that because we're going to cut it out anyway. Okay, so there are the two yellow eyes. Now, in the story we read this week for Pete, at the beginning of the story his shoes were white. So if you really wanted to, you could leave his shoes white. Or if you want, you can paint them the picture that matches the strawberry. When he stepped in the pile of strawberries, his shoes turned red. So you could paint his shoes red, or you could match the blueberry page and you could paint his shoes blue like this. Or if you want to, you could match the mud page and paint his shoes brown. Or you could go to the very, very end, and if you look, there's white and then blue and then brown and then red. So he has a different color shoe on every paw or every foot. So you could do them all red, all blue, you could leave them white, you could do them all brown, or you could mix the colors and do different colors on them. So I think I'm going to do red shoes because I like strawberries. So I'm going to redip my paintbrush and get that yellow off from the eyes and dip it into the blue paint and rub it around so I get it nice and wet. And then I'm going to paint my shoes blue. And you can leave the bottom white if you want to, or you could just paint them all blue. Mine's turning out a little bit green. I think I have some of that yellow mixed in there. So if you don't want that, just keep dipping into the blue and get more blue and then fill that up. Okay, so this is the first thing we're going to do because we're going to let this dry while we cut out our other body parts to make Pete. Okay, so I'm doing all my shoes blue, but if you want to do one blue, one red, one white, one brown, you can do that. You'll just need to re-dip your paintbrush so that you get the other color off. Okay, so I am done painting. I did all my shoes blue. I have his yellow eyes, and then I left his triangle nose white. Now I'm going to set this over to the side and let this dry. And I am done with my paint, so I'm going to close that up. Maybe I will go ahead and get rid of dry this paintbrush off a little bit. And really important, stick it back in your set and close the lid so you don't lose your paintbrush, because we're going to be painting other days too. Then you're going to pull out your pieces for Pete. Keep this white page that has some writing on it, keep that in there because we will use that on a different day. Okay, so now you have a big oval, and this big oval is going to become Pete's body. So we're going to cut out the oval. And I'm going quick, but you can take your time to do your best cutting. It might take a little bit longer than me. Okay, so there's his body. This is just trash, so I'll put that to the side. And then this one, where it has 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles, these are going to become his legs. And you can see here where this line kind of got cut off. So if you want to, you could take your crayon and just go straight across with your crayon and make a line straight across. If you want to, that will help you to make his legs. If you don't want to make that line straight across, then just cut out 4 blue rectangles. These are going to become his legs. Okay, so here are my 4 rectangles. This is trash, this is trash, and I will cut apart his 4 rectangle legs. So now I have 4 rectangle legs. Okay, now with my body, at the bottom of my body, I am going to open up my glue. Remember, to open up your glue, you just twist it open. It goes up a little bit, and that shows that it's open. And at the bottom, I'm going to make 4 dots of glue. And this is going to be where I stick those 4 rectangular legs. So here's 1. Here's 2. Those are the 2 front legs. Here's some back legs, 3, 4, because cats have 4 legs. They have more legs than us. All right, so here's my 4 legs. This is going to become the back because when I flip it over, that will be the front, okay? So I glued these on the back side of my oval. Okay, next, I have 3 more pieces left, and some of yours might be cut apart already. So this one is going to be his head, and this is going to be his neck, and then this one, it kind of looks like that hang-up, that red in the call on our Google Meet, that's going to be his tail. So we're going to cut these apart and glue these pieces on. And today you're going to be making your own Pete the Cat character. And character is the one that a story is mostly about. Okay, so for his tail, I am going to stick some glue on the back side where I put the glue before for the legs, and I will stick his tail on there so it kind of looks like the letter C. Okay, then I'm going to get this rectangle. This is going to be his neck, where we will add his head. Okay, so on the front, I will add an opposite the tail. So the tail's on this end, and then on the other end, I will add a glue spot, and I will add his neck. So here's his neck sticking up like that. It looks kind of funny right now. And then we'll just cut out and add his head. Okay, and then once you add his head onto the neck, then you're going to get his eyeballs and his shoes. Hopefully they're dry by now because I just used a little bit of water, but if they don't dry yet, and you can wait and let those dry. Okay, on the top of the neck, right here, I added some more glue. Actually, let me think about that. Maybe I want it to be on the front. Yeah, I'm gonna change that. Let me take that glue off. Okay, so that's the back. Now I'm gonna flip it over, and on the front side now, because I don't want his face to be backwards, I'm gonna put the glue on the front of the neck. There you go. So on the back I have the forelegs and the tail and the neck, and then when I flip it over, I'll put the glue for his face right here on the front, and then I can add his head right there on the neck. That looks way better. So here's my Pete the Cat, minus his feet color, shoes, and his eyes. So, oh, my paper's pretty dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut his nose and his eyes. And I'm going fast, so you guys might take a little bit more time to do it even better than me. I probably won't do all the shoes. So let me take a look on the cover. Where is his nose? If this is the top of his head, his nose is kind of way down there at the bottom, almost all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to put his nose. So I put my glue like that far down, and his nose looks like it's pointing down. So I'm going to put mine pointing down, like a triangle pointing down. Okay, let's see. There it is. There's his little nose. And then I'm going to cut out his yellow painted eyes. And since you have more free time today on Wednesday, if you want to, in the very back art section of your portfolio or your kindergarten kit, in the back of this, in the art section, I did put in some art pages. So if you want to, after you make your Pete, if you want to take some time to make your own painting on those little white sheets of paper, you can do that. This is your easy free day. Okay, so here's my Pete the Cat eyes. There he is. Here's Pete the Cat. Okay, so we got his eyes, his nose, his forelegs, his tail, his body, and then down here, I'm just going to cut 1 foot at a time so you can see that. And hopefully when you guys are watching this video, you're kind of doing this with me, so it will be quicker for you. And then at the bottom of his foot, I will put some glue, and I will attach his shoe right down there to the bottom. Okay, now I'm not going to take the time to do the other 4 shoes. I'll let you guys do that on your own. If you want to, some of you might want to add some whiskers to Pete, because when you look at a picture of Pete, let's see if I can see a close-up picture. I think the cover's the best. He doesn't have a mouth in the picture, but he does have these long whiskers, which gives me the idea for the cat. Oh, here's a good close-up of the whiskers. So if you guys want to add some on the side, some whiskers for Pete, you can do that too, okay? And then we'll let Pete dry, and then maybe on the back, you guys can write your name with your pencil. And then tomorrow, I can't wait to see how your Petes turn out. Are you guys going to paint all your shoes blue? Are you going to paint them red? Are you going to paint them, I just realized, I think I said I was going to paint them red and I ended up painting them blue. That's weird. All right, so you can paint them red, blue, brown, or maybe one of each color and leave one white if you want to too, okay? So here's what your Pete the Cat craft will look like, and I can't wait to see what your guys' turns out like today. So if your families want to, they can send me a picture of what your Pete turns out to look like, all right? Have a great time, guys, today. Enjoy your time making Pete, and I can't wait to see how they turn out. Have fun.